this out afterwards. So welcome everybody to our first meeting for our CCNA 1 class. I really am super happy to have everyone here. I'm so glad to get this project started. Big thanks to Cisco and NetDev Group for making this happen. I do want to share something personal with you because I think it's important that we are able to know one another. And one of the things that you will notice if you get around me, you'll notice my hands do not work exactly right all the time, and you'll see me stumble around if you're ever around me in person. If you're in the Atlanta area or if you're familiar with Atlanta, Georgia, I realized today that 5 years ago today, I was wheeled into the Shepherd Center, paralyzed from the neck down after being hit by a truck while riding a bicycle. I used to be a triathlete. I was actually an Ironman triathlete, pretty good triathlete actually. But 5 years ago today, I was rolled in, paralyzed from the neck down. And then a year after that, I walked in through those same doors. So my wife brought that up last night, and it really hit me today as I was just looking at my watch. I was like, wow, it's April Fool's Day. And I was like, well, that was the day I went to the Shepherd Center. I hope and pray your family never needs a spinal cord rehab facility or a traumatic TBI brain injury clinic. But if you ever do, the Shepherd Center is amazing in Atlanta. And if you live in the Atlanta area or live near it and can ever volunteer there, honestly, if it wasn't in Atlanta, I just can't stand Atlanta traffic. But if Shepherd Center wasn't in Atlanta, I would work for them. I would try to get a job with them because it is such an amazing place. But I just wanted to share that because it's kind of a neat thing as we look at what's going on. And with the introductions, that kind of gives the introduction on why if you ever do meet me, I kind of stumble around. I always tell people I'm not drunk yet. But I do lose my balance because of that. But it's kind of a neat thing there to share with you. What I want to do today as part of our agenda is we're going to have a welcome and introduction because I do want for us to all try to build, even though we're in an online environment, I want us to try to build a feeling of connectedness that we would have in the classroom. I'm also going to really teach this class from the standpoint of you don't know anything at all about the Networking Academy. And so it's a little bit different than the way I teach it because a lot of times the instructors that come in have at least a little bit of knowledge, and you may have knowledge in the Networking Academy, but I'm going to just teach it in that fashion. We're going to talk about accessing our Canvas system, which some of you have been struggling with. And I apologize, but that's always an issue for all of our instructor training classes. The first time you have a class with us, you do have to find out your Stanley ID. You have to find out your Stanley username. You have to log in using all those. And so we'll get through those problems. If you're having problems getting in Canvas, please realize we will get through them. And then really, we don't use Canvas for all that much as far as the class is concerned. We will discuss accessing Netacad.com, which is a much more important site because that is where all your readings are at. And then we'll talk about future sites such as Netlabs.stanley.edu, which is a site that is where we have real gear, which will be available for you to use during class. And if you're one of our schools that go with us as your Academy Support Center, your instructors will have access to it to use it anytime they need to use it for themselves. And we even do share some of that access out for your students, just depends on how many students you have and if we can support it. But what I want to start out with is just introductions, and I'm gonna start with me, obviously, because most of you don't know me. My name is Kelly Caudle, and I'm the head of our Academy Support Center at Stanley Community College. We are, by the way, a small community college about 40 miles east of Charlotte, North Carolina. We are an Academy Support Center. We are an instructor training center. You also see this IT Academy logo that's behind my head here. That's so you don't see my junky office. But the IT Academy is another thing that I do, which is I run the online continuing education offerings that we have for IT at our school, which includes VMware, Palo Alto, it includes Red Hat, AWS, all those things that are taught to professionals looking to get certification. So I wear a lot of hats here at the college. I also am the administrator and more not so much administrator as the supervise those who run our data center that support all of the online items. So I have a very strange position at the college. I've been in the Networking Academy for over 20 years. So I started in about 1998, not 88, not even I started that long ago. I was working in the industry as an engineer for a community college and was given the opportunity to come here and start the Cisco Academy with a friend of mine whose name was Bill Fry. And we started the academy here and have been going strong since. We are a very small school that I say punches way above our weight because we are very small. If you look us up, you would be surprised how small we are. But we've also learned to kind of find our niche and know what to do with it. I love the Cisco Networking Academy. I've been offered jobs many times other places for more money and wouldn't leave because I enjoy teaching and I enjoy the academy and I do enjoy, quite honestly, living 6 miles from work. That's the other thing I enjoy. The years in IT, again, over 20. I've been doing this. I'll give you a great thing though. My 2 degrees, well, I've got 3, but one's in English and both are in English for my undergraduate and master's degree. And then I have a graduate certificate in information assurance. And that sounds nuts, but I spent the first 3 years of my life actually in biochemistry at NC State and then switched to English. So I'm one of those people, when you look at Myers-Briggs, I'm sitting dead in the middle, which you would think that's wonderful, but it's really one of the worst places to be because one day you want to read Shakespeare and then one day you want to read on BGP and OSPF and routing and all those things. So I've had a weird path, but I tell people, if you look at my path to IT, if you can read and you're interested, you can do this. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. The only thing in IT that requires being a rocket scientist is being somebody that creates cryptographic algorithms. That really you have to know. I always tell my students, if you can count to 2, you can work in IT. You just need to know 0 and 1. So that is my background. What I would like to do now is for each one of you, you can unmute yourself and just give me a real quick name, school you're at, the years you've been in IT, and what's your expectations. My expectation for this class, folks, is I want you to become excited about the Cisco offerings that are in the Cisco Networking Academy. I want you to feel at the end of this class that you are prepared to offer introduction to networks to your students at your school. That's my expectation and my hope. So, Mr. Williams, we'll start since you're first on my list here that I can see.
Is that T. Williams?
T. Williams, yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tracy Williams. I work at Alabama State University in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm currently the Academic Network Support Manager.
You deal with some of the pain that I deal with then if you're doing academic support.
I do, Kelly. I'm not saying I wear dual hats, but on the infrastructure side and on the academic side. So I'm kind of like the liaison between the faculty and the staff, trying to decide what tools, what's the best tools that they need to facilitate their job. And then I come back to my lead engineer, my junior network engineer, and tell them, what we need and try and build forward. So I've been in IT a little bit over 20 years. My background is in education, is elementary education. I became the tech coordinator for the public school system. And so, the love of, computers and all that. So I transitioned. I'm from the tech area, from the system admin area. So I dib and dab, but that's where I am now. I'm excited to go through these courses to broaden my view on networking and understand some of the language that my engineers, when they talk to me, I can relate to them.
Excellent. I do think one of the things that even folks who have a lot of IT experience will see from this course is when I did it years ago, it filled in a lot of areas that I didn't know about. So, okay, Robbie Harper. If you can unmute yourself, if you can't.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good.
My name is Robbie Harper. I'm a network manager for the University, Hampton University. And feel like a bit of a newbie after Mr. Williams there, because I've been doing networking. It's only been about 8, going on 9 years. I come from a background in the military where I wasn't actually in IT field. I just joined this culture after I got out of the military. just kind of worked my way in this position over time and through education. And I understand exactly what you mean, Kelly, when you say, you know, they going to school years ago, and now the Cisco culture of today, a lot has changed. So I'm looking forward to learning the old and the newer Cisco, refamiliarizing myself with the old and learning the new.
Excellent. I know Hampton is not too far from Damneck, where I've done some training over across, I believe it's across the bay from you.
Yes, Little Creek. I trained over there actually.
Okay.
Yep. Amphibious space.
I've done a instructor training for Damneck Extension from Oceana before. So excellent. Thank you. And if I mispronounce your name, please let me know. I do apologize. Is it Janae?
Janae.
Janae. Okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Janae Fodelay from Albany State University. And that's in Georgia, not New York. And I am actually, I guess, just listening to everybody. I'm not sure if I hope I'm the novice in the group. So I'm actually a math professor and the chair of the department, Math, Computer Science, and Physics. So I have a couple of my colleagues in the second cohort come along, but idea is to basically get well versed in these in this course and eventually try to give our students avenue of certification.
Excellent. You can help me during the math portions of the course, and when I make math mistakes, you can fix it. I've got the English background, you got the math background. We can make it work. Thank you very much. B Webb, I believe it's Brian Webb.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brian Webb. I'm the lead network engineer at Alabama State University. I've been in networking maybe about 18 years. First started off as a programmer coming out of college, realized I did not want to do programming. Decided to go to networking. In my mind, to get away from people, not to deal so much with people, but then I realized like, hey, I deal with people every day. I deal with people problems. Yeah. One of the reasons by joining this program, I actually wanted to help the students at Alabama State, help Alabama State University also become a Cisco Academy in the future. And also help my coworkers, Tracy and Ebenezer, refresh and just gain some knowledge from this course.
Excellent. You know, the sad thing is now though we're having to become programmers, even though we ran from it to do networking. Now they're doing all this network programmability and they're making us learn it. So
that is right.
Yeah. Now we're having to go back. So, but thank you very much. And Darian Hawkins. Darren, can you unmute yourself? I don't know if you are muted right now.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right. There you go.
So Darian Hawkins over here at Hampton University. Been here about 6 years or so. Not six, probably 5 years. Former military, retired U.S. Air Force, 21 years. DoD contractor after that for about 9 or 10 years. Been in networking, computer, sysadmin, IT field since 1996. I have quite a bit of networking experience, but I've taught unofficially, showing people stuff and never officially. Looking to make that official and impart some knowledge and help students and help my colleagues, so my staff members become better at their jobs.
Excellent, thank you. And everyone on here who is former military, thank you very much for all your service. My dealings with the Navy and all. We've got the best military in the world, and the folks in it are amazing folks. They sacrifice every single day, and unless you really spend time with them, you don't realize even the day-to-day sacrifices they make. But thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. And Katina.
Yes, hello. And I'm at Hampton University. I am the Director of Education Services, where basically I provide faculty training and support for our Blackboard learning management system. as well as training for our banner system and any other training technical that's going to assist our faculty in the classroom. I'm very excited to be here and learn as much as I can. I've been in education over 20 years. I've also been a professor at faculty for over 20 years and taught online. So I'm excited about gaining more experience in networking, and I'm gonna take over Mr. Harper's job one day. Just kidding. Have no desire to do that, but I just had to put that jab in there. But just being able to expand the courses that I'm able to teach, so I'm excited about that, and to assist our faculty.
Okay, thank you very much. Jacob?
You're welcome.
I'll change the name of my door, Doc.
Jacob, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we have you.
Okay. My name is Jacob Ogunlade. My background is in engineering. I'm a mechanical engineering by background, and then run into management for some times, get MBA. Then I teach I was doing at Australia University, where I teach only the IT, and the college there where I am now, I'm teaching the all kind of network and administration. Teach both graduate school and undergrad in IT. So, but I've been in computer, like some of you said, I've been in computer since 808 machine to 86 until where we have now. I still have some of those apparatus with me, and then share it with students sometimes that this is where we used to be, and this is where we are now, so that they can appreciate the trends which the technology is going on. Even with this one, I used to be with the Microsoft Academy, which I have this certification in it. So when the Cisco's come back home, then the school said that they want me to have the knowledge. Most of the problem that my school had problem with is we don't have the equipment. And recently, like some of you sharing some of the experience, if you haven't been, I have a business on my home that I have that I established about 20 years ago. Sometimes take off on it and then go back to the class so that I can give the student more practical experience or what did they expect to meet when they get there. They should be able to compete. Because one of the reasons why I'm here, because I want my students to be able to compete wherever they go to. I want them to stand up to the other students. So I want them to have all kinds of knowledge that is there. I can keep on talking about some of the experience that I have, that if recently I subcontract myself to one national contractor that they provide me with the customers, you'll be surprised of some of you that you said you just want to sit down at home and do nothing. But sometimes the IT is like Kelly said, I just like to work with my hand. I want to see what is there, and I want to transfer that knowledge to the student too, to be competent wherever they go to.
That is excellent. One of the things I tell my students, what I think really that blows their minds, and I do it for 7th and 8th grade tours too. I hold up my watch and I say, you see this watch? There's more memory in this watch than was in the space capsule that took men to the moon. And you think about that and you go, yeah, I said, yeah, they strapped themselves to a rocket that had less memory, the computer systems that had less memory than this watch. And it's always pretty interesting to see that. So thank you very much, Jacob. Okay, Glenda. And Jacob, I'm going to go ahead and let you mute yourself again. Glenda.
Hello, everybody. I'm Glenda Evans from Hampton University. I kind of carry dual roles there. On campus, I'm chair of the Business Administration Program. And then I am also the Director of Business Incubator Programs at the Virginia Workforce Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center. that is a branch of the university. We are brand new in this. I am brand new in the IT realm. I started off in college as a computer information systems person back when Pascal was a thing. So you know how old that was. And decided that I actually wanted to graduate and switched over to accounting and have loved it ever since. So this is me coming back to a little bit of what I thought I could do before to add to that experience and knowledge. I am doing this because in that Virginia Workforce Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center, we are creating a brand new incubator for the whole state of Virginia. And we want to bring this to people that want to be entrepreneurs in this field. And so that is what I will do with the information that I learned.
Okay, and I think I just pulled up so you can see here. This is something you may be interested in looking in down the road. There's 2 sub courses that we have: Be Your Own Boss and Entrepreneurship, that are actually small little module courses of, I think they're 8 to 10 hours each. And it talks about opening your own business and how to be your own business, creating a business plan and those types of things. So that's something kind of neat that's inside of Netacad that is available. So very neat there. Thank you. Ebenezer, y'all are still seeing my screen, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ebenezer Aite with Alabama State University, and I'm the junior network engineer. I've just been in the IT field for 5 years, and I'm taking all these classes to be able to gain more knowledge in the networking field and be able to support my coworkers, Tracy and Brian. So thank you guys for this opportunity. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for being here. And Alyssa?
This is Glenda again.
Okay.
She's actually, she can't talk where she is because she's on campus.
That's no problem.
Yeah, she's from Hampton University and she is our vice president for information technology.
Okay, thank you very much. And Tracy?
Yes, sir.
Let's see, Tracy Allman. Tracy Allman.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hi, my name is Tracy Allman. I'm with Bethune-Cookman University here in the state of Florida. I started out, well, I've been in IT now for many years, since probably like before I tell my students before it was networking.
Yeah.
I've been in networking before it was networking in 1989 when it was just telecommunications. I am a computer information systems instructor, and I'm over the networking track at Bethune-Cookman in our CCM, Computer College of Science, Engineering, and Math. I also teach computer science courses as well. And what I just plan to get out of this is I want to get our students better prepared for industry, and also help while helping Bethune-Cookman become a Cisco Academy. And just thank you for.
Oh, no problem. Excellent. Thank you. Let's see. We've got, I believe, has Denise Fairby, have you gone?
No, I haven't. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. My name is Denise Farabee. I am an assistant professor of computer science and also director for our Center for Cybersecurity at Lemoyne College. I've been in IT, believe it or not, all between teaching it and actually working in industry for almost 30 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, that's good though.
I remember networking when we were doing 10BASE-T and we were still using Novell NetWare. So
I've actually worked on Novell NetWare networks back when 3.1.2 back and use. I'm maybe one of the few people who, some of you, I know a lot of you on here probably created BNC connections before or troubleshooted using a terminator. I've actually done that. So yeah, that's going back a ways there. That's good knowledge though. It gives you good knowledge.
It's been many moons ago. Basically, the reason that I'm taking this course is that we are restructuring a lot of our networking courses. The material and courseware that we have been using refers to using lots and lots of Cisco equipment and lots of Cisco commands. And my thing is why am I going to use someone else's material? So
Right.
we might as well go ahead and just use Cisco material as opposed to using something else. And that way we can prepare our students for industry. We are a Cisco Academy, so we're getting our academy off the ground more so. It's been sitting kind of sort of dormant for a while. But so now we are making an effort to move it forward and to bring our students on board and get them certifications.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jelani?
Jelani.
Jelani, sorry, sir.
That's okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jelani. I work in IT support for the College of Health Sciences at Alabama State University. I just handle general hardware issues, new hardware purchases, and I bug Tracy and Ebenezer all the time. I have a limited background in networking, but about 6 years experience in hardware service repair, and I'm an engineer by trade. I was formerly a failure and analysis engineer for Intel before I changed careers to come to Alabama State. And I just want to gain some knowledge in this field and just pursue networking as my current goal.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. And I think Felicia. Don't know if you've gone yet.
Yes. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yes, I'm Felicia Doswell, and I'm associate professor at Norfolk State University. I've been teaching there for about 15 years. I too have worked in industry prior to being a professor, and I worked at Bell Labs and some other companies that work with IT. I currently teach in the computer science department, and my hope is to improve IT offerings at Norfolk State University. Our computer science program has a breakout of several tracks, and one of the tracks is IT. So I want to contribute to improving that. Currently in the computer science traditional, I teach data communications, and that's generally taught from a theoretical perspective. So I want to get more hands-on for the students so that I can properly prepare them for industry.
Okay, thank you. And for those of you who are in that area, we have a very good relationship with Virginia Beach schools, and the Virginia Beach, we have several Cisco academies at the high school level in your area. So if you're looking for recruiting opportunities, or you want anything, especially once all this COVID craziness goes away, we can definitely make some introductions to in that area. We used to actually come up and do the yearly Virginia Beach cybersecurity competition for Virginia Beach schools. Definitely would love to make those introductions, because one of the things we try to do is focus on a pathway from, there are Cisco academies in high schools, there are Cisco academies in community colleges, and there are Cisco academies in universities. And so we want to see our students moving as far as they possibly can in their educational journey. Did I miss anybody? Anybody else I didn't get? I think we may have everybody. All right, I'm actually going to turn my video off because you really don't need to look at my ugly mug, and it makes it easier for me to, I think, clears up some space here. The other thing I want to talk about is in this class, you're going to have a couple systems you're going to access. The first one is canvas.stanley.edu, which if you've accessed it, you've actually logged into Canvas, and you should have seen this particular, there's a little block here, and you'll see probably for you just one class. I've got a bunch because I'm an instructor and I have 10,000 classes right now. But once you go in the class, you will see a welcome, get started, and then this introductory form. Now, folks, we are like you, a university. Well, we're a community college, but we're still a government institution, which means we have to track attendance. Well, for us, the way we are able to actually keep these classes so cheap is we run them as continuing education courses. Our normal course cost for these courses is $195.50 per instructor, which is, to my knowledge, the cheapest in the United States. In fact, I think it's the cheapest anywhere for a regular class. We have inside of here this assignment, this first one. I see the 11 of you have done it. And so this basically will just track your quote attendance. I'm gonna turn my video back on so you can see me, but track attendance. We also have in here a document that I will tell you about in a second on how to enroll in the Netacad class. But before we go any further from here, I want you to notice that this is you just for your initial assignment and to get your seat token. And then the course syllabus is here, but the course syllabus is also in the Netacad class. But I sent you login directions. If you have trouble logging in, again, you may want to use your full login, which is actually your email address. So it's your username and then at scc.stanley.edu. So if you have trouble with that. Again, I did not think this through very clearly about online help. If you talk to our help desk today, they will not be open tomorrow and they won't be open Monday. However, that's not that big a deal because with canvas.stanley.edu, you don't really have to get that attendance assignment done in the next two or 3 days. And I made a command decision. I'm actually going to send your seat tokens and the way to use your seat tokens for Netacad in an email after this class is over. I do need you to access canvas.stanley.edu and do that attendance assignment because without that, we can't count you as attending the class and it causes all kinds of problems on my end. So even if you do get into Netacad, and I'll talk about that in just a second, I'm going to be hounding you to come in here because I need that for attendance. I do want to hit the syllabus here real quick. Inside of here, you'll see that our class runs from today, April 1st to June 10th. We are going to have a weekly meeting every Monday from 3 to 4. I sent that link out to everybody, so hopefully you saw that, and that's the same time from here on out. I will try to make that meeting every single week. There may be a week I get sick. There could be a week I can't make it. And if I do, I will cancel and let everyone know, but I will try my best to be at that meeting every single week. Can't promise anything. Again, with spinal cord injuries, things happen. You know, back in August, I fell and severely broke my arm. Just the other day, I tripped coming out of Hobby Lobby and fell. So, you know, it happens, but I will try my best to be here. This course, all you're going to need to do this work is a PC with high-speed internet. And high-speed internet is, you know, just any good internet connection. I would like, obviously, for our class meetings to have a microphone and a camera, but, you know, that's optional. And if you can't make the meetings on Mondays from 3 to 4, everything is recorded and will be placed on my YouTube channel. And I will give you the links to that YouTube channel. Be aware, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you will get the other classes I teach, the links for those courses. You also get an occasional painting video. I paint miniatures. I don't send out many of those, but I've got a nephew who loves it. And I don't know if any of you have kids, but they are enamored with YouTube and being on a video or having a video. So the other day, he and I made a little video painting miniatures together and I posted it on my YouTube. And then apologized to all my classes and said, hey, if you don't want to see this, just ignore it. I'm sorry. But but most of everything that goes on my YouTube channel is just our class recordings. And I do use that also for my Academy Support Center. I put a lot of videos on there on how to do things like adding users, changing user accounts, and those types of things. We are going to have you in this, by the end of this course, we want you to be able to configure switches and end devices to be able to provide access to local and remote networks. Explain physical and data link protocols. And if you don't know what the physical and data link are at all, you're going to learn because you're going to learn the OSI model. We're going to look at how to do routers for end-to-end connectivity, create IPv4 and IPv6 networking schemes and addressing schemes. That is probably the single most important item in Introduction to Networks is learning about IPv4 addresses and IPv6 addresses, how to subnet them, and how to use them correctly on networks. We'll learn about the OSI model. And we'll learn about how to configure and troubleshoot a small network. Now, this is extremely important for you to look at right here because you're going to look at the class in Netacad and go, oh gosh, I'll never get all this done, because I'll show you in a minute all the assignments in Netacad. There are 55 different assignments minimum in Netacad. I'm not expecting you to do every single one of those. I'm going to want you to get about 80% of those done. I'm not even going to tell you exactly which ones to do. Now, I will ask that the ones on IP subnetting that we will do all those together. But if you're doing an assignment and you just feel like, hey, I know this, I don't need to do it, then don't do it. But I've set the class up just like I would do it for a student class. And I would expect my students to do every single one of these assignments. So you're going to see there's a good amount of work inside of the assignment. You're also going to see that I do expect a 75 or higher on the final written exam. You will get multiple attempts, so don't worry about that. This exam, by the way, we mentioned in our meetings with Jesse that at the end of the third course, the Enterprise Network Security and Automation course, if you make a 70 or higher on that final, you will get a 70% voucher for your CCNA exam. I do have the CCNA 7. I had CCNP up to a year ago when I didn't renew it. I'm working on renewing it now. But you will get that for this course. If you don't make a 75 or higher on the first attempt, you'll just take another attempt. When we get the ENSA, our third course together, all of you are going to make a 70 or higher on that final. You're going to work and you're going to make sure that happens. So, and then there is a skills lab that we will do. I do have this down here. I've put together a weekly schedule, week by week, and you'll notice that I don't even consider this. Next week is not week 1. Week 1 is 4/8. So you don't even have any reading assignments due until week 1, which is 4/8. It's due by the end of 4/1. So next week, we will start the process of reading chapters. Of course, you can start this weekend if you so choose, but also understand this is Easter weekend, and that is a big weekend for many of us. But be aware, I've tried to keep things pretty short for this first week that we're together, so you don't have quite as much to do, but you can look through here. And I will note that labs that are in bold are to be completed or can be completed on our Netlabs system. I don't remember who it was that mentioned that equipment was such a problem at your school, but that's one of the things that Netlabs helps with, and that is that I have equipment here. I have 16 pods of equipment, soon to be 20 pods of equipment, and you'll be able to do your labs on those. And I will be explaining that system in a lot more detail, not even next week, but the week after. I kind of drip things out to you because it's so much information. If I didn't, it would be overwhelming. So we can just look through here. I'll let you read through the syllabus and kind of see what is available. But we are going to try to and will cover every module that is in the Academy Introduction Network course. So this first section here, canvas.stanley.edu, the first thing I need you to do for this class is get logged in there and complete our initial attendance assignment. Once that is done, your next item will be to go and read how to use a seat token, which is this document right here. And I want to stress, if you already have an existing Cisco account, even if you've been a student, use that for your redeeming this seat token. That way you'll keep one account. I have one account in the Academy, and that is it. It has all the things I've ever done under the Cisco Networking Academy. Now, if you've never been in the Academy and you don't have an account, then you put and say, I am new. But even if you've done the introduction to Packet Tracer that I gave you, you now have a Cisco account. You have a Networking Academy account. You can use that same account, and you can say that when you redeem your seat token, you can say, I currently have a Network Academy login. So if you're able to log into Netacad.com and use my introduction to Packet Tracer that I gave you, then you have an account, so you can use that. And that's neat for you because it keeps all your information in one account. Now, questions about that? Your seat token, by the way, is in this document right here. I put everybody's seat tokens right here. And so all of your seat tokens are available for you to use. Any questions about that? So you first log into Canvas, then you're going to do the intro assignment, and then you're going to read the seat token information and use your seat token to get into the Netacad class. Okay. And then quite honestly, after that, we will not be using the Canvas very much. Now, if you want to always log into Canvas, I do have links to netacad.com here and links to Netlabs. Again, much more Netlabs later. We're doing, it's kind of like these are not the droids you're looking for. We're going to talk about that later. But Netacad.com is the primary site for the Cisco Networking Academy. But once we get this information taken care of, I'll ask you maybe one more time to log into Canvas for quote attendance. But that leads us to our next site, which is Netacad.com. Once you enroll in it using the seat token, this is our main site, folks. You will go in here, and for you, you will look, you may not have all of these tabs. Some of you are going to have non-managing tab because you're a contact at your academy. Some of you will have an I'm teaching tab because you've been given the instructor role. Some of you will only have I'm learning. But if you, for some reason, come in here, the default tab typically is I'm teaching. So if you come in here and don't see your class, just go up and go to I'm learning. All the classes you're registered in should be here. So now, once you go in the class and launch the class, this is what you will see. So this is our main class area. And please stop me at any time with questions. You can just unmute yourself and ask them. But you'll see here, I've put the course syllabus in here again. All right. There is a section for all the different modules. And I have, when you want to read the module, so by the way, when you look in the syllabus and it says read module 1, you click on module 1 course content and it loads the course content. And then here's the actual reading for the course. So there are videos. This, by the way, is the new 7.02 version. And so it takes you immediately on how to download Packet Tracer 8. We will be using Packet Tracer 8 in this particular course, but it shows you how to do that at the very beginning. And it actually walks you through the differences in Packet Tracer, the logical and physical mode. And there's even a little Packet Tracer lab that you can do here, which is one of your first assignments that's available. Then as we go through, you'll see that all the reading is right here. There are embedded videos. There are, as you move forward, there'll be drag and drops. There'll be even animations in. If you ever have a picture that's too small, you click on it and I will expand it. But this is our textbook. You do not have to purchase a textbook for this class. Your students do not have to purchase a textbook. We have inside of here all the content that is needed for the class. Even better, as you go down to the bottom, once you've read through these items, most of these little sections have a check your understanding. So there's a little quiz at the end to help you say, hey, what have I just read? Do I understand it? So when I say read module 1, you're going to redeem your seat token. You're going to go into our ITN, Introduction to Networks class, and you will click on the module course content and you will read that module. Now, I always tell people, and this is how I tell my students, you're going to read module 1. When you're done with that, I suggest reading module 2 and then read module 3 and then continue forward until you reach the end of all modules, module 17. I do that a little bit facetiously, but we are going to go through all of the content. So if you get time, just read as much as you can. And by the way, if any of you can ever figure out how to make our students read, don't tell me publish it in a book or somewhere, because you'll be a multi-billionaire if you can figure out how to make our students read. But I do think the good news about this content, since it's online, a lot of students like the way that this content is presented. Okay. So that is our second site. That is our primary site. This is where we will do 99.9% of what we're doing in this class. Okay. It's where Packet Tracers will be downloaded. It's where we'll get Packet Tracer, everything there. Any questions about accessing Netacad.com? Okay, again, here it is. This is what the class looks like when you get in here. And then you have the ability to get in. This is now a Moodle-based system. So if you're familiar with Moodle, this is a Moodle-based system. And then I'll talk more about uploading assignments and all those things next week in our class meeting. Right now, I really just want you to get into Canvas, complete the intro assignment, get your seat token redeemed, and get in here and start reading module 1. We will eventually be using our netlabs.stanley.edu site. That is our the site where we have hands-on labs, real gear that's available for you. I do want you to know that tomorrow is Good Friday. Little note, I got hit on Good Friday 5 years ago, which was just one of the, I was like, well, that really wasn't funny, Lord, but you know, it was kind of an interesting thing. But tomorrow is Good Friday, and then Easter Monday, the school is closed both days, and our tech support will not be working. So if you don't get in to Canvas and you're still having login problems, you can email me and I'll work with you best I can. I cannot reset passwords. That's something that only our IT help desk can do, but I will do what I can for you. Now, tomorrow I am off. I've been instructed by my better half My wife has told me that I will be taking tomorrow off. So if I don't respond to emails tomorrow, I apologize, but that has been a mandate from a higher power. So I don't cross her. However, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I am working or will be available and will try to answer any emails you send me. Just be aware that may be a little slower anytime you email me on the weekends. So the big thing for us over the weekend here is just to try to get into Canvas, redeem your seat token, and get into Netacad.com. I will be sending again your seat tokens to you via email and the directions. So even if you can't get into Canvas and have not been able to get in touch with our tech support, I'm going to give you the ability to get into Netacad so that you can start reading if you want to do so. That's really all I have for today, folks. I just wanted you to be aware that this is always going to be a struggle when we first start the class. It's always a struggle for your students, especially if we're doing it online. In a seated class, I can walk around behind you and say, okay, yeah, do this, do that, do this. But in an online class, if you're teaching this curriculum online, be aware the first couple of days are always tough as students get used to Netacad, get used to the systems at your school. And you all know this if you've taught online classes at all. So there's always those little login issues. I will tell you that with Netacad, one of the things I've done and like to do is some of you took me up on the offer to do the introduction to Packet Tracer little course that I created for you. If you can get your students in any of those free courses before you get them into actual courses, it helps to familiarize them with the system and make it a little bit easier on them. So now what I want to do is just open it up for questions. Any questions about the course, about where we're going, or just any open questions about this ITN class that we're going to be working together on.
Kelly, quick question. This is Tracy Williams. Packet Tracer. I downloaded the software. I didn't use 8. In the install, it asks you to actually correspond with your instructor on which version. Prior to today, I really didn't know. So I'm on the one version below that. So can I uninstall and reinitiate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's in fact what I strongly recommend you do is, and there's ways, Tracy, to actually have both running at the same time, but it causes problems. So what I strongly recommend you do is uninstall it, reboot, and then install version 8.
Okay.
And that and folks, and that's true for your labs. Whenever you're installing a new version of Packet Tracer, my recommendation is uninstall the old one, reboot the machine, then install the new version. If you install on top of it, actually leaves the old version, and it does that for a reason, because some people actually pull a executable out to the old version. You can run both, but it causes problems for most systems. So just uninstall it and then reinstall the new version 8. By the way, if you need to download Packet Tracer, there's the whole video tells you everything about it when you start reading in module 1, but you can go to resources, download Packet Tracer, and then you just scroll down to the download here and you can see you need to download the 64-bit version of 8. So 64-bit version 8, download it and install it. And that's what we'll be using in this class. And by the way, Packet Tracer, just a quick thing, is a simulation engine that is available only to Cisco academies. And it will legally only to Cisco academies. And it's used for a lot of our simulated labs that we do. Anybody else? Yes, sir, Jacob.
I've already downloaded the version 8.3, which are logging through the Netcard, and then which is they have the that's the latest that they have. But because I have problem in logging to the system and I do not have the correct ID, which means that but I was in another instructor's class when I saw the network, so and that's where I get into. But when you get me straight up, I will be able to move what I have back there too. But I'm already in the Netcard.
Yes, if you're already in Netacad, when you redeem your seat token, it will ask you, do you already have an account or not? If you already have an account, you click that. It asks you to put in your information, and then you put the seat token in, and it will then put that account into it. So just when you redeem your seat token, and let me show you real quick. I'll have to pull a different browser over because I'm already logged in here. But hold on 1 second, folks. I'll pull it over here. If you are, when you go to redeem a seat token, this is all in that document that's inside of Canvas, and I'll email to you shortly. But when you go in here, you go redeem seat token. Okay, it's going to ask you, I currently have a Network Academy login, or I don't, I'm new. If you say I currently have one, it asks you for the email address associated with that account, and then the seat token. Don't worry about the ID, student ID, just put your name and that. And if you don't know what email address is associated with your current Networking Academy login, you can always find that by going to your drop down and going into My Profile. You can log in to Netacad, go to My Profile, and it will tell you what email address is associated with your account. I have my work email address associated with my account. And so that's, if you've done that, that's fine. That's normally what we do is make it our work email account. And if it's not though, that's fine too. But just be aware, if you've got an existing account, you want to, when you redeem the seat token, say that you have an existing account.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Jacob. Anybody else?
What do we do if we aren't able to log into Canvas?
If you're not able to log into Canvas, you can email me with what issue you're having. If you're trying to use the username, you may want to put at scc.stanley.edu at the end of it and see if that fixes the problem. So use your username, then at scc.stanley.edu, and see if that will let you log in. You also, I will put into chat the phone number for our tech support, and you can call them. I don't know what time tonight
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Okay, so they're there till 8 tonight. So 704-991-0222. You can call our tech support and they can work with you to try to get your account, get you in your account. I wish I could change passwords and all, but that's, in a lot of ways I don't want to do it either. So
I'm using the chat feature right now, and they've been very responsive.
yeah, the chat, that's another way to do it. If you go to our webpage, if you go to stanley.edu and go to tech support, there is a chat feature, and I don't know exactly where it's at, but you can actually do a chat.
Is that bottom right in that little blue?
Oh, right here. Yep. You can click right
Yes.
there. That's the chat. So you can actually click there and open up a chat form, and you can give them your name, email, and mobile, and they will actually, they're actually, that's probably faster than calling even, but that's a good way to do it too if you need help with login. They'll work with you and get you logged in. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, Katina. Let me know that.
You're welcome.
We've got a good tech support team here on campus. They're very good. Other questions?
Kelly, can you hear me?
Yes, we got you. We can hear you, Jacob.
Okay. Along the way, when we are doing this course, are you going to let us know some hints that we can get for the certification?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Based
Yeah, we'll
on
talk.
the area
Yes.
that we need to put more emphasis on.
Yes.
And then with your experience in the field, blending with some of the IT there that you might have.
Definitely. And there's something else I'm going to show y'all, and I'm just going to show it to you right now. I'm not really going to go over how to get into it because it's something we will be giving you access. Well, actually, you've already got access to it, but we have something on campus that is actually pretty phenomenal. I don't know how many are familiar with Safari Online, but we actually have a subscription to the OReilly database. And so the OReilly Media Database is a subscription, and you can you can log in, and I've got a way to do it, and I'll show you how to do it. But the OReilly Media Database is pretty phenomenal, and I'm gonna have to pull it over here to log in because I don't want to actually show it on the recording. But I do have an entire video that I'll send you and show you how to get in here. But this database is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it's truly, when we found out what it cost and the fact that we could get it for our students, we basically have here, I have a playlist, and inside of this playlist is, once it gets loaded here, come on, playlist.
Does the campus have to pay for that?
The college pays for this, yes. But we have inside of here, you see that you've actually got the volume 1 and volume 2 of both official cert guides that you will have access to, portable command guides. There's even an entire video course by Kevin Wallace, and then there's practice tests and an exam cram. And all of this was available to you as a student of Stanley Community College. And I will show you how to get to it. But basically you just use your Stanley email address to get into it. And it is a phenomenal resource. I can't say enough about this, the O'Reilly database, and how important this has been for our students. Like I said, this is the entire first cert guide available. The entire book is right here. And so you're able to go in here and read this entire book. And there's no additional cost to you to have access to these resources because you're one of our students. So it is going to be a resource that I will show you about and you'll have more access to. So yes, we will give you resources to help prepare for your certification.
Thank you.
But you won't take that certification or even be ready for it until after we finish our 3rd course, which will be, sometime in December. That's what we're looking at.
Thank you.
Unless you work ahead, which you could. I mean, you've actually got the resources there with O'Reilly. If you wanted to work ahead, you could definitely read ahead and get ready for it.
I have O'Reilly before, but I do not have access to all the things that they have because my school is not subscribing to it. But since we're going to get the subscription from the Stanley now, so we have enough resources that I need there.
Right. Well, and the thing is, you will have access to O'Reilly database as long as you're a student at Stanley and have an email address. The good news is once you take a class with us, the email address stays active for usually 1 year past the last class you took. So, as long as we keep the database, you should have access for a while.
Okay.
Which is pretty amazing for that database. I used to pay almost $50 a month personally for that database.
That's what I have.
Yeah, and I finally I had to quit. I had to stop. I was like, I just can't afford it anymore. $600 a year, and then we found out that we could get a school-wide license, and I actually used some of my Academy Support Center fees to help pay for that license because I know how important that is for our students.
I paid for about 2 months and I said, well, oh, this one is too much for me.
Yeah, it's an amazing resource, but it's not cheap. Not cheap. Okay, any more questions? Okay, folks. Well, I'm done for the day. I will stop recording and I will stop my share here. So I'm going to stop.